So it's December 2nd. I made a video earlier, but now I'm back for a little quick few minutes. I just kind of caught up on some other YouTubers that I was watching. That I don't really watch consistently, but I watch them every now and then, especially when a lot of times some of them are just drama oriented or got drama following their lives, and I'll pop back in and see what's going on and realize one of them is getting locked up for doing something, I guess, to her boyfriend or whatever. It's a young person, but I guess the thing about it is that she did a prank on her sister. One of them did a prank on their sister, and she was like, I'm just gonna prank her and act like I'm scared to fight. And I don't know, that really just touched me because, or like, I don't know, it just did something, not nothing negative, but it just kind of made me think, like, I guess too, with this whole SR case that's going on, how she was, how they was telling her to fight back in the video and stuff like that. And she was like, I'm not going to, no, and then, but people were still encouraging instead of trying to break it up and things like that. And instead of, so it just got me to thinking. Of course, my daughter had told me that she got into a fight, since she'd been over there with them. And that was my whole thing. I was just trying to avoid that, most certainly, and other things, avoid certain stuff. And up to that point, we definitely avoided that. This happened last year. I don't think she got in another fight. Well, she did get in, well, both the fights that she was in, and she did get in them over there where they are. And it just, when I even speak about it, it just still tries to burn me up. God is good, so I'm not burning, but I still get upset and bothered by the fact. I'm not really angry about it. But that's my child. And at one point in time, baby, she was like a little porcelain doll baby. And I mean, even in her teenage years, still a doll baby to me. Like, not no baby doll, but you know what I'm saying? Just like definitely precious, but can be fragile and stuff like that. And like, what? Y'all think somebody's supposed to put their hands on her? So I told her so-called dad years ago, that he never married the girl, but his so-called step kids that he was claiming and stuff like that, they was putting their hands on her when she was young, and he was just telling her, stop telling, stop snitch. I'm like, wait, what? She not supposed to tell nobody, let alone she not supposed to tell her so-called dad? Wait, huh? Baby. So of course the I'm getting upset and I'm bothered because I'm like, for one, the mother, or mom, so-called mama of the house, why are you letting your kids put their hands on my child, period? And I was like, and I should whoop her, and I did. I went on and said I should whoop her ass because you just continuing to, like, y'all not. I don't know what y'all not getting, what it is or whatever. And then of course she was listening. She was on the messages and she was like, "This her call me and said, girl, it's nothing." Then I had to start thinking like, God had already revealed to me what type of stuff she was on, and some people really do be ready just to fight to try to take your energy, your innocence, and all types of stuff, fight, and worse, And to me, specifically in the Black community, it's not that it doesn't go on in the white community, but I've seen, of course, a lot of it in the Black community, and that's since I was young and stuff like that. Of course, first, second grade, somebody's trying to put their hands on me, beating on, fighting on me and stuff like that. So I experienced it firsthand, and then and then of course the other part of it. What? Of course, middle school, high school. Did I fight in high school? Hold on. Did I fight in high school? Wait a minute. I didn't fight in school in high school. I fought, outside of school, but period. Like, still high school age or whatever. Again, Black community, us fighting against one another. And so when she was doing the prank saying that, I'm scared to fight, I don't want to fight, and the girl just kept on hyping her up. Her sister was like, oh, well, I'm going to beat your, if you don't fight. And I've seen a lot of that. Like, if you don't go out here and do this, Like, you got to show people you're tough. Then but what if somebody do bring the weapons and stuff like that? When they bring the weapons and somebody end up dying, because people don't want to. When people fighting, they don't want to lose. Whoever it is, they don't want to lose. You know what I'm saying? And so then some people got egos and stuff about it. And so if they lose, they can either bring a gun or already have a gun or knife or whatever. At a fist fight. And it's like, wait, what? So she was just hyped. She just continued. She was not letting up on her sister supposed to be fighting and stuff like that. And I'm like, why? Why, not just her, but why are people like that? Why are people like that? If that person does not want to fight, why do they gotta fight? Leave it at that. And me, I'm not no fight. I'm not the fighter type. And it reminds me of this comment that this dude made. He was like, "Yeah, you've been fighting since I known you, ain't you?" Trying to, just for one, he was trying to talk like he was an older person, which he is now. And he did know me in the little prime or whatever when I did get it. So he did see me. I don't know why God allowed him to be there, whatever. But yeah, fought whatever. And talking about, yeah, you've been fighting since boy, you don't. He was just trying to act like he knew me like that. And I'm like, no, you don't. Furthermore, you're not older than me. And I just felt like it's just disrespect coming off your tongue. You even mentioning that. But anyway, I knew what he was getting at, but yeah. But the thing about it is, and then he was wrong. Like, loud and wrong. Like, no. Had to deal with stuff and people trying to cause conflict with me, yes. But just fighting since you know, no, I don't walk around trying to fight people, and I don't do absolutely none of that. Do I have a desire to be fighting, and do I feel a little brolic something? Yes. When somebody brings some type of, saying what they call beef, when they bring the beef to me and stuff like that, heck yeah, I do. When they bother me and stuff like that. But other than that, I don't be having that desire, no natural urge or desire to just go out here and fight people. I don't feel like or think that that's what we're supposed to be doing. Not to say that fighting ain't biblical and people didn't get it in the Bible and stuff like that, but I just, so again, just back to my daughter, like, I feel like disgusted, and if I think on it too long, sickening that they was allowing people to put their hands on her. And so of course I had a problem with it. So of course I told his mammy. I told her, I was like, honey, yeah, that was part of the reason you need to be ready when I see you, because guess what? My child, you allowed somebody to put their hands on my child in there, and then you tried to sit down and say, oh, that's not how young ladies act. Now, granted, I don't know what all happened. My daughter called me and she was just saying it's my fault and stuff like this and whatever was going on. And I'm like, you know, after I talked to her, I got a better understanding. But to this day, I still don't know exactly. But I got a better understanding of what was going on, what was taking place, the spiritual part of it and the natural, because she was telling me. But and that's what kind of calmed me down, because I'm like, okay, Lord, I know that maybe you just allowing this to get her to see things clearly, and not necessarily from my perspective. I want her to see stuff from my perspective, somewhat, but it's for her. It's for her good, and it was for her. It's not, it's hard for me to say that fight is for her good, but I know that, it happened for some type of good to come out, for her to, that was your first little experience of when you go out here and get around some other folks, and, they want to try to have confrontation with you or whatever. And again, I don't know the whole little thing and stuff like that. And then my daughter started after, and when I got on the phone with her, she started going off and yes, feeling brolic and stuff like that. And yep, then that's when I started saying, like, yep, she do need to go. I started agreeing with my daughter as far as like, yep, she need to go take her little ass somewhere else and find something better to do. Okay, girl, you enjoyed your time there, your mammy, this, that, and the third. But yeah, this is not your time. This is not your time. This is not your season. This ain't your, So I don't know. I think when I talked to my daughter last, she was telling me that the girl wasn't around here anymore, and I ain't never really had no major problem with them like that. It was just mainly the mom and my daughter's so-called dad, because of course I'm gonna hold him accountable. Because what? You gonna let somebody put their hands on her? You must be out your damn mind. And of course that makes me, and that's when I definitely want to lay hands on you. But definitely your mammy, just your mammy, because and I get to talking like that because I be bothered. But definitely your mammy, because she the one that had you. She the one that spit you out. And I want to get at her first. That's how I start feeling. Just because. And then I'll handle you on the flip side. But and plus I ain't trying to fight no ninjas anyway. Anyway. And he definitely has physical strength and stuff like that, but his weakness and weak when it comes to his so-called mom or whatever, sending him to do her dirty work and blah blah blah, whatever. Like it's still bothersome to even talk about this stuff. So when I just watched it, it had the stuff on YouTube. It just had me thinking about this. But what else? What was I gonna say outside it? Okay, so then fast forward, she got into some fight in school, and I had a dream about it or whatever, but I didn't see it as a fight. I seen my daughter had a bloody nose or whatever, but then she said in that fight she had, I guess the girl had got the best of her or whatever, and her nose was bleeding. So that means blood was drawn, blood was shed. Even to this day, I still be trying to get a better understanding of it. I got somewhat, but I don't know, man. I still don't fully understand it. Again, I can go back to, like I said, the spiritual part of it for me is just being real. I know that me and her so-called dad used to sleep around or mess around, and it was during times when I was on my cycle. I was young and thugging and wild, and I guess, and and I think the Bible says something about it. Don't mess with a woman when she's on her blood flow and stuff like that. And I think I probably had already read it, but I did it anyway. So with that, I don't know all the the consequences. I don't know what I was sowing with that or anything like that, or if anything at all. But that's how I feel. And of course it was him. And of course we got older, and we halted that, and that was just that. Um and again, I never did that with what's his name at all. I think, it was a time when we was engaging, and then I was starting my cycle, but because you don't know when it's gonna come on. You got a roundabout type thing, but you don't know exactly when. Only God knows that. But anyway, so I don't know. I just said, with the blood being shed and stuff like that, maybe it had something to do with that part or whatever. That's why her nose started bleeding and stuff like that. But I don't like the sound of it. Anybody bothering or hurting my children, because I just know I wasn't that type of. I'm not that type of person to be going around just putting my hands on people. But again, I felt the brawlicness at times, and you know, um, dang, I'm trying to get this move on here. But yeah, I felt the brawlicness and stuff, if that's a word, at times, and dang it, they're not gonna let me get it. Ooh. Yeah, so felt and experienced that or whatever, and just was like, okay, I'm down, and I think that seed was just planted in me from when I was younger, and the girl was fighting on me and stuff like that, and calling herself beating me up and all that, and then middle school got in fights over stupid stuff and stuff like that. So then got older, I ain't getting no more fights after. I guess that girl was the last person that I fought when I fought somebody, and I was in like the 11th grade or something like that. That was it. And that was the outside of school. So I ain't getting no more fights. But then when I was 16 or 17, whatever I was, and then so like it didn't happen again until like 7 years later, like 2 years after my daughter was like 2 or 3. And that's when, what's his name had tried to stir somebody to fight me, the people across the street or whatever. And it was just crazy. It was wild. And I'm like, wait, what? And this is the girl he took her virginity. So that's the other thing. That's another aspect of it. Like, girl, because he took your virginity, and then he could turn around and say something and tell you anything. you want to fight me because of that? And so this girl, of course, I'm grown at this point. I got my child. I'm over here. And then on that day, I'm over here trying to take my son to the doctor. So of course, I'm called scary and stuff like that. And I'm saying that too because the girl in in the little, it wasn't a skit, but the prank today, she just kept calling her sister scary and all that after the sister said she didn't want to fight. So I'm like, and me personally, I don't give a damn. When I got a house to go in and a door to close and all that, I'm definitely not worrying about what you're talking about. You can call me scared all you want to, baby. Scared and still alive, if that's what you want to call it. That don't necessarily mean that I was scared, but that just means maybe I'm wise. Maybe, it's just not meant for that. So I ended up talking to somebody on that, and I was like, oh, because y'all not about to jump me. What you're not going to do is you're not about to jump me. And at that time, of course, I was definitely still in my younger ages. So I'm like, I don't have a problem fighting now. Of course, the older I get, I'll be feeling like, oh, time to slow it down. Better think twice before you ever, you do that. And that's on everything, and that's on everybody. Even though there's some people that I still want to get like a good punch in the face. I ain't even lying. I really want to like punch them in the face, but never mind that right now. And they some older people too, to be honest. Like just keeping it real. Some supposed to be older folks or older people, whatever. One of them was like, "Why you want to fight an old lady? For one, you trying to plant the seed. I wasn't ever trying to fight you." But you're trying me like that. Like you keep on trying to, and you're not supposed. And biblically, I get it from the father not supposed to be provoking the kids. But biblically, I don't think older people are supposed to be trying to provoke younger people at all, in no type of way. But I've seen that. I've seen people say. I've had one of my even uncles try to get me and my sister to fight. One of my previously known siblings to fight each other and stuff like that. I'm like, wait, what? And they get this is what you do? This to me, you supposed to be a kingdom minded person. Mind you, he was young, but you're supposed to be raised in a kingdom household and a kingdom minded person, and you trying to stir somebody to fight, huh? Because you want to see a good fight. And it was him and another one, and they was both saying, yeah, she'll beat you and all this. And you know what? Honestly, too, I think too it was dark skin. Now I look back, I think it was a dark skin, light skin thing, or brown skin, light skin thing, because my previously known sibling, she's brown skin, she's darker than me, and then I'm lighter. So it's like, okay, but I'm still not white. I'm black. So I don't know. I'm still trying to understand it to this day about a lot of stuff that goes on and why I go down like that. But thinking about that, and yeah, the girl who was trying to fight me, I closed the door in her face. I was literally led to close the door in her face. I feel like I shouldn't have opened the door at all, looking back, but God allowed me to open the door. But I also went on and locked locked my door, and my screen door was unlocked. And after that, honey, I learned I'm not leaving my screen door unlocked anymore, because you're gonna definitely have to try to get through a screen door as well. You're not gonna just no. And then that's of course where it came to play with my daughter's so-called dad. Broke my screen door and stuff like that. But yeah, just somebody telling you that they scared to fight and stuff like that. I don't see myself encouraging anybody. I mean, unless it's one of these males out here that really need to be, what they be saying, get out there with you, getting out there with them. Which a lot of them, I ain't gonna say they necessarily should, but they should do that before they try to put their hands on females and stuff like that. Absolutely, I definitely agree and feel that type of way. But yeah, if somebody's saying they don't want to fight somebody, I feel like it needs to be respected. Now, again, God can reveal to me otherwise, because I'm just not really deeply opposed to fighting. I don't like fighting really that ends in somebody dying because somebody decided to pull out a weapon. I'm laughing at something, but somebody decided to pull out a weapon because either they was losing, they lost, or whatever. But at the same time, I feel like in some cases, pulling out your weapon is smart. Somebody want to talk, now that I'm older, somebody want to talk mess, you know what I'm saying? And you just got it on, you got that thing on you, they threatening you, this, and the third. And if somebody don't get got right now or whatever, or get dealt with right now, should I say, then it's gonna continue to go on. Then I'm not gonna sit here in front and say I'm not open to that nowadays. But me personally, I want any fight that I'm not saying I'm gonna get in any fights, but any fights that if I was ever to get in, I just want it to always be fair. I want somebody there that would truly, genuinely be having my back, and they would break it up. And I mean, and if it was necessary, risk their life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had somebody do that before, and I was grateful. I'm still grateful to this day. Like, but I just don't want the weapons and stuff involved and stuff like that. But even though I was about to go in on her with something, but uh, what else I finna say? But yeah, I don't want my daughter and stuff out here just fighting. I don't want my sons out here either just getting out here fighting and stuff. Now, I pray that they do learn some strategy. I didn't encourage my sons before. Y'all need to be. It's so many videos out here now. You can get you some practice, some practice with some martial arts and stuff like that. So that way you can be lethal. Seriously, like, be smart enough to go out here and get you that training or whatever. It's so available now, learn you some techniques and stuff like that. But I just don't know, man. I'm still trying to figure it out, still trying to understand it. So that part bothered me. And then the other thing, I didn't finish watching it, but I was about to watch another YouTuber, and she was talking about how her grandma died last year this time. And I just started thinking, she was crying, crying, crying. And I just started thinking about, my grandma died over a year ago now, and it's like, and I'm telling you, when I was young, I just knew mine ain't never going nowhere, and she was all I knew. But that was the thing. I'm not saying this girl didn't do that, but while she was here, I wait a minute. Yeah, but while she was here, I loved her. Tell them to turn the porch. Hey, y'all can turn the porch light on. Need to turn on both of them. But yeah, while she was living, I loved her. I cared for her. I'm not saying that we didn't never have a disagreement or a moment where we didn't see eye to eye and stuff like that. But I just loved her. I spent a lot of time with her, and a lot of my life with her. I don't want to say it like that, but yeah, probably more. I do feel like it was more than I probably should. I had a lot of time around her. And when I was with her, I treated her with respect and love and stuff like that. I cared for mine, and I enjoyed spending time with her and stuff like that. So I might have cried a tear or two, but I didn't really cry like that. And again, God was preparing me for her. But I don't know, I just started feeling a type of way when I seen the girl crying like that. And I just couldn't relate to it. I'm actually thankful. I told her to turn this porch light on. Hey, turn the porch lights on. Oh, okay. I'm looking at the. Did y'all turn on both of them? I just said, did y'all turn on both of them? Oh yeah, my youngest son came in here because he was annoyed with his older brother. He gets like that a lot, and I don't be knowing exactly what's all going on. And then I ask what's going on. What the heck? Is he annoyed? And my youngest son was like, just something. And it was like, he's like, Mom, you don't gotta know. He wasn't saying it in a disrespectful way, but he was like, Mom, you don't gotta know everything. He didn't say exactly that, but that's how I kind of took it. And I was like, why are you annoyed? What happened? And he was like, just something. I'm like, oh, okay. And then he came in here with me. So it's like, you want me to know something going on because you ain't going another room. But, and then I can just read his body language. I know when he's upset with his brother. But yeah, he didn't ever tell me. I'm going to still ask my oldest son, what did you do to him? Why he wanted to come in here? Because, baby, I'm going to know what's going on up in here. I don't know what y'all think this is. And when both of them are in agreement and they both don't want to tell me, that shit, it ain't really nothing I can do. I can't force them. I can ask God to reveal and show me, but Like one time, it was somebody saying something about speaking in tongues or something like that. It was like a cartoon or something. And they both looked at each other. And then my oldest son, he just like shook his head. He was like, he just shook his head. And I was like, what? It's like how Nessa was on Bernie Mac, on the Bernie Mac show, where she could just look at her siblings and stuff and tell them whether they need to act bad or they need to behave. It was so funny, but I love it because I encourage my sons to be close to each other, especially because they full blooded and they got the same parents. So I'm just like, and it is y'all too. And I'm not saying it's the world against y'all too, but y'all need to be close with each other. And yeah, the Bible even speaks about being closer than a brother. So it's talking about it, and specifically said brother, not sister. Evidently, they knew that sisters was a little more distant or seemed a little more distant or whatever. But brothers is totally different. So, um, I encourage them to be close and to kind of to sort it out amongst themselves and stuff like that before they have to bring me into it or anything like that. But I'm still here to help them resolve it or come to, have that positive conflict resolution and stuff like that. Um, so that was funny. But yeah, when the girl was crying and stuff about her grandma, I was like, dang, I can't even relate to that at all because I had a good experience with my grandma when she was living. And for the most part, I'm gonna say a good 85, 90%. It was a percentage that just started to get to turn, it was different when I got older and stuff like that, and it was getting towards the time that, she was about to leave this place. And so I don't know, man, but that's pretty much what's on my mind. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I still, even every time I talk to my daughter, I still feel like I got a problem with her so-called people because I don't like the way things being done. I don't like the blatant disrespect. I don't give a damn if you did want to see my child and this, that, and that. That's fine. Okay. You had your opportunity, you seen her, but you, not only did you see her, then you try to hold on to her and keep her. And again, that's just still not sitting right with me. I'm not at the place where I fully agree with that. Am I thankful that my daughter is. I can't really say she's been taken care of. I can just say that she's at a place where she's at. Where she at, and it's not here. And I'm just thankful. Last I talked to her, she was safe and stuff like that. Still breathing, still alive. You just in the third. She seemed like she was happy, or at least decent. But she still had something with some stuff with her or whatever. But I'm not gonna say it wasn't major, and I'm not gonna say that it was major, and I'm not gonna say it was minor. But yeah, still had a problem with this, with her especially, and definitely him as well. And he always trying to come off and tell her, "Oh yeah, I'm do this because I don't want no problem." No, baby, you wanted a problem. You want a problem when you decided to keep my child away from me, and I don't give a damn how much money you pay any court system or anything like that. Talking about, I paid too much money because that's what he was telling me. Oh, I paid too much money not to such and such, and basically trying to threaten me. You want a problem. You want more than a problem. I've been deeming him the issue anyway. But yeah, you want more than a problem. And he just kept trying to cause stuff with me. And I don't care for it. I don't like the fact that it do seem like he just be getting off scot-free. Yet at the same time, I don't sit around and just hope for and wish for something bad to happen on him, because I really literally did that when I was younger. When I first moved over here, I was like, well, I can't wait till you get beat up and robbed and this, that, and the third. And he literally got robbed. Well, I think I said, no, I didn't say robbed. I said, I can't wait till you get beat up and you laid in the hospital. He got robbed and beat up. So that's when I was like, oh no, I want to watch my mouth. I don't, because not only what I said came to pass, but also something more, something extra. And I was just like, that's not the type of person I am. So that was that. So I started just to watch my mouth and stuff like that. But do I feel like I believe and feel like I know he's a damn criminal and he needs to be, justice need to be served? Yep, I definitely feel like and believe that. But yeah, then I'm thinking about another time when, and not to really bring what's his name up, but honey, I don't know how I might make it through this life without mentioning much of him, but I try not to at this point. But and especially because I'm not living in these days anymore. But when I was all there. I was trying to be all there for real. But it was a time when me and what's the name was up in here. He made himself comfortable. He set up his stuff, played his game and stuff like that. It was good. The kids was here and stuff like that. But I think my daughter's so-called dad either was bringing it. I don't know if he was bringing some money, if he was bringing my daughter back or coming to pick her. I can't remember. Pick her up one. And what's his name was sitting there. He was playing this game and stuff like that. He was just setting up shop. And I don't know. I can't never know how my daughter's so-called dad felt in that moment, but I just was feeling like, boy, I ain't worrying about you. And I just let them come in. Because at first I was letting them come in anyway. Should have never let them know where I stayed at. Now I know and look back. But I just let him come in while he was doing it or whatever. And I didn't tell, what's his name? Because I just felt like it ain't gonna go down. I just felt like my house was that under control, wasn't finna be no problems or anything, and nothing did happen or anything like that. But he started feeling a type of way, and he started wanting to tell and talk to my so-called mom and stuff like that, talking about she got that nigga over there and this, I'm not, why I gotta do this, and she got that. This is the thing, you talking to the one that told me to, you telling her, but she the one that told me to take child support out on you anyway. So I don't get it. Like, this is the stupidity of people anyway, and the craziness about the whole thing. Granted, now I look back and I feel like, do I feel like my so-called mom was messy or whatever? I don't think she was messy when she told me to do it, but I don't know for a fact. But I felt like she was looking out for me and her at the time, who I deemed her granddaughter, by trying to hold him accountable and responsible. And she went on to do the same thing, stand firm on that regarding the what's his name, regarding the boys. Her and then my so-called dad even came into agreement too with his hating to pay, or not strongly disliking paying child support himself, but encouraging somebody else. But anyway, so he was telling her, and I'm like, you complaining to the person that told me to take you out? Like, what are y'all on? What do y'all be on? Y'all, it's really weird to me. So, anyways, oh, Lord have mercy. Lord, I don't know. It's so funny when I get a laugh in my spirit and it manifests, because it's like, what's really going on? What do I got to be laughing at? What do I got to be laughing at, smiling at? But I'm going to laugh and smile. That's fine. So anyway, I'm definitely laughing at that. To me, it's stupidity. Like, you don't know that you're talking to the one that you know what I'm saying? She did this whole thing trying to make stuff work in her favor anyway. What you mean? But also, I'm still doing the video. Can't run it back here. But yeah, so he came in and he was sitting in there, and then he started complaining and all that. And then what's his name told me, oh yeah, I had a dream that I was somewhere, and basically everybody say baby daddy, I don't, but baby daddy pulled up on me and he had a gun and this and that. And he said me and him was laying beside each other, and then he woke up from the dream, so he tried to like snatch me over there with him in real life. And I didn't know, he just had a dream, so this is what he told me or whatever. And I'm just laughing or whatever when I think about it, because I really did wish that he would be like that for real in real life. Not, don't snatch me over, but you know what I'm saying? Make sure that I'm staying close to you. And I was good with him, but of course now it's, boy, dismiss yourself. Dismiss yourself. I'm trying to say it respectfully and nicely. I'm not saying kill himself, because I don't know. If I heard it was news of that, I probably feel an inkling of something, but I'm not pressed. But like I said, I guess I don't want to be the one to say kill yourself. But anywho, Because, yeah, I just don't want that on my conscience, and I don't want to be held accountable for even speaking those words and stuff like that. But I done told his ass, boy. I done definitely told him you could follow suit of your deceased loved ones. Definitely did. Because you need to know and understand, like, get somebody else to do it. So, yeah. But, came in, he did that, and like I said, I was kind of feeling myself in the moment, but not, you know what I'm saying, so much that it was like I'm in competition with him. But you just walked in on a situation. I didn't set it up like that, but I allowed it to, go down like that as far as him seeing that, because I didn't have to let him in. And, what was my motives? What was my intentions for that? Just to kind of show off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Feel like, make myself feel good that I had me a man sitting here, and what I thought was a man and stuff like that. And we was good, and we was working, moving forward. But I feel like he didn't want to see that happen. I went on to have dreams about that and stuff like that, and like confirmations and stuff. He didn't want to see that happen. Like, that's definitely a hater. A sick, sad hater. And then he speaks certain stuff on me that I'm so sick and this, that, and the third. But anywho, continuously the blood applied, because again, I guess it was just more so something in that when we was having sex and I was on my cycle, on my period and stuff like that, and something regarding blood. But then something did die, and some other stuff transpired over the last year or two, and which is great, but still, I guess, got a taste for blood, a thirst for blood, or something like that. I don't know. Like, boy, y'all crazy as. Anyway, how long is this video? 36 minutes. So that was that. That's all I really got to say. And just again a reminder: just love people while they're here. You know what I'm saying? Don't all this trying to not giving people their flowers, not making sure people straight can live a decent life and all that while they're here. And honestly, with the racial thing, which again I don't get up in, but with the racial thing, if people know that their ancestors and stuff did certain stuff to people back in the day and all that, then it's not, you can't really make up for it, but you can really genuinely either leave them alone, knowing that you ain't got no whether you feel like you don't feel like you have any remorse or whatever, but leave them people alone, and definitely stop trying to block their blessings, stop trying to sabotage and stuff like that. If I had to speak anything about the racial concerns and stuff like that, that's what I would say. Like, yes, reparations is definitely needed, necessary. As far as, is it for, do I feel like it should be for everybody? Let me put it like this. Let's say reparations for black people and you know what I'm saying, whose ancestors went through stuff and stuff like that contributed to them not being able to provide the best life and things for their young, their loved ones and stuff. Yeah, okay, so let's just say it was like $100,000. Okay, $100,000 for everybody who's got black ancestors and who's black or whatever. Then let's just say the next thing up was something extra on top of that. Do I feel like every black person should get that something extra on top of that or whatever? No, I don't. Not just because you're black and stuff like that, and not just because, yeah, I damn sure don't. That's just me. There's other people that definitely feel like I don't deserve. They think I don't deserve anything to begin with, and I'm not trying to be like that because of that. I'm just making a point, because I always like pride myself in saying, well, I'm not gonna be like that just because everybody else, just because somebody feel like that towards me or they try to do me like that. But I realize that it really do come back down and come back around to and boil down to, sometimes you got to feel like that and you make that decision and stuff like that. And I feel like, of course you need to be spirit led. Let God give you that peace. But ask them however much you need to, and let them give you confirmation, give you peace and stuff like that. And that's how you gotta be. That's, so at least now that's what I'm feeling like. That's what they're teaching, even directly and indirectly. But the Holy Spirit leads into all truth. Ruach HaKodesh leads into all truth. So that's who we need to rely on, and that's what I want my daughter, not what, but who I want my daughter to rely on and trust. And again, just coming up on her 15th birthday this month, and just want her trusting in God, And the birthday don't even matter as it matters. What I'm saying, it doesn't matter as much as you developing and hearing from God, and trusting in Him and fully relying on Him, and for how to maneuver, because really she got people that love her. I mean, she got people that definitely outwardly act like that. I don't even want to say act, but seem to show a certain form of love, but it's not, to me, it's not agape. But she has people that love her in an agape way, at least one person. I can't really speak for my sons either. I don't know how they feel, since she's gone and stuff like that. They don't really talk about it. I know that they have a care and a concern, but they just living their lives. They used to each other, and they got one another. But me personally, I love my daughter, and again, it's with what I know, or to be agape love. It's not anything less, or what I'm saying. So, but without that said, I'm about to get off here and get back to my stuff. I got stuff that I really need to be doing, and I said I was gonna do it, but I got relaxed real bad. But I'm gonna try to get this done because it's Friday, it's the weekend, and yeah. So I'll be back sooner or later.